I am just on my way to the barn, and I wanted to continue to nip this in the bud, this issue with the horse in Shedrow 5 that arrived here 2 weeks ago. Now, given the atmosphere of 2020, you would think that there wouldn't have been able to horses leave the area they were in when strangles were present. Now, I'm learning a lot more about strangles now, and especially a lot of these undertones are the same as COVID-19 in regards to humans and what we're going through, and how infectious it can be. Now, the horse in question, I think it's worth noting, the horse in question shows no signs of having strangles, right? None. Not sick, not coughing, no temperature, sharp, training, feeling good. The reason that horse was targeted was because there was a horse on a trailer that came from the Maritimes, and on that trailer, a horse tested positive afterwards for strangles. So contact tracing being what it is, we all know about that now. They circled back to this particular horse and focused on him. Now, as soon as we found out the horse potentially could have strangles or carrier for strangles, that horse was gone, out to a farm by himself, quarantining by himself. Now, we all know when it comes to COVID that I could have it, you could have it, and not know it. That's the scariest thing about these things, is that we're all carriers, right? Same as these horses, and they may be atypical. They may not have any signs of sickness, yet they may still be a carrier. So until the blood work comes back from that horse, the AGCO, rightfully so, has asked us not to race horses just at a Shedrow 5. Now, it wasn't that long ago. I remember we had a strangles outbreak. It was within the last decade, and immediately the entire place was shut down. No one leaves, no one comes, no one moves. And now it's more targeted, where Shedrow 5 don't associate, people in Shedrow 5 maybe stay clear. The horses in Shedrow 5 stay definitely clear of every other horse. If you can jog them when other horses aren't on the track, that would be great. And just wait till this, and it will run its course, right? And it's much like COVID, 10 to 14 days, they say. So we'll have the test results back for Chris's horse. Now, Chris works for us. He's a good guy. There's certainly no malicious intent. There's no harm meant. And quite frankly, we had a horse come from the Maritimes 2 weeks before that that was sent up to Harry Polton. So I can't really be upset for somebody doing exactly what I allowed to happen 2 weeks before. Now, I had let my guard down. Truthfully speaking, PEI should have been shut down. No one leaves until we're certain strangles is gone. And now the next problem is, and as I said this, Chris said, well, this horse I have from PEI 2 negative strangles tests, but apparently there's, as other things, multitude of tests you can take to be certain. Now, I guess the gold standard of tests is when they go in and take a swab directly from the glottal pouches of the horse and grow a culture from that. That's as they say, the gold standard. That was not done in mostly all the cases. I believe 2 negative tests from other forms of tests were taken, but they were also taken with the horse that tested positive. So even if this horse comes back positive as a carrier, it doesn't necessarily mean that our horses have it, but our horses will be tested. Now, the yearlings, they're not going anywhere anyway. It's not a big deal. But any of those race horses coming out of Mario's barn, we will probably, depending on how the test comes back from this horse, may have to have them tested also. That would probably take place the first part of next week, and then we would get our tests back after that. We could enter the horses to race next week as long as the tests were back before they actually left to go to the races. So that's where we're at right now. I just didn't want social media scaring you, because that's what happens, right? When it comes to COVID-19 or anything else, this day and age, the year 2020, for the most part, the 21st century, social media drives a lot of the information that comes out, and I'm not going to have that happen on my watch. Our information coming from thestable.ca will come from me to you, not from social media. So, when it comes to what is going on, you know now what is going on. If the test comes back positive for Chris's horse, it's still not a death sentence. There are no horses in Mario's barn that are sick at all, not one. So if it does come back that this particular horse is positive and is a carrier, we will deal with that. Those horses will be quarantined. They'll still be jogging and training on their own time at the training center, not come in contact with anybody else. Everything will be sterilized and cleaned. And next week, we will take tests on our horses, which will most likely come back negative. It's not the end of the world. No one's sick. No one's dying. No one's in any jeopardy of dying in our barn or any surrounding barns at Campbellville Training Center. So I wanted to nip that in the bud. Whether it's negative or whether it's positive, we will get through this well within a week or 10 days. So worst case scenario, very worst case scenario, we enter our horses Indigo next week. They come back positive. We have to scratch until we get a negative test. That would be frustrating, but that would be the very worst case scenario. So that is what is going on. That is your update. Now it is 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday. I've just been updated by the AGCO last night. Dr. Chambers called me. I was updated by our veterinarian also. And the reason I'm kind of taking a lead on this portion of it is because it affects you. It affects us. It affects everybody at the stable right now. And I want to make sure that we have the proper information. So I have been contacted by the AGCO, by our veterinarians who have talked to the University of Guelph. We have a plan in place. It is all being taken care of, and this will be over very, very quickly. It's an unfortunate incident, probably precipitated by them being allowed to leave PEI, but that's neither here nor there. We'll deal with the right now. So I hope you guys are having a good day otherwise. As I said, no concerns, no sick horses, no worries from our end, but this is a formality that we have to take place. It has to play out. It is right now, and we will get past it. Take care.